What is up, guys? Welcome to the next installment of these cars I'm unveiling for the 2019 season mod. So this one, we have the Toro Rosso, and as you can clearly see, driving as Daniil Kvyat. And if you look at the helmet, it's the exact one that he wore during the 2018 end of season testing. A few more things have changed since the last one that you've seen. You can see just to the left of us, Magnussen's got a bit more of a rich energy type helmet, and a few more drivers have also had their helmets done just to spec of what they had either in the testing or they had also in the just whatever you'd call it, like a little practice before the start of the new season or anything like that. But so this Toro Rosso, I keep pushing this into the season mod because I really hope eventually they'll do it. So the colour scheme of the 2017 and 2018 Toro Rosso is based off of the energy drinks that they sell. So they sell a special drink that it's actually quite rare over here in the UK. I haven't really seen it, which is red and blue cola, simply cola. So they do these in an assortment of different flavours. They do them in orange and silver, red and white, an ungodly amount of colours. The one that you can get over here in the UK for sure, which is the one I've drank before, is the dark blue and silver. So I think the first time I put this livery in a mod was back in, I think it was the last one I did in 2016. So it might have been the 2017 season mod. That was for that. Must have been, looking back at it. But so I've been trying to push this livery since then, and eventually I'm hoping it'll come true. So as you can see, it's a lot darker blue. All the decals are chrome, and then you've got like the grey stripes where the red used to be. So it's more or less a two-tone livery. You've got the dark blue, and then you've got the grey in a sense. So it was a little bit tricky to get it to work because of how the Toro Rosso livery works in terms of the chrome, as well as how shiny the actual the blue is, because the blue's got two different tones of it. You've got a lighter colour and a darker colour. Same with the Red Bull. The Red Bull's got a similar thing, but the concept's a lot easier to manage on the Red Bull than on this. But in terms of the drivers, it's a bit weird. You got two rejectees from essentially Red Bull, the parent company. Both driving from, same with Brandon Hartley, he was a reject. He got resigned, he got booted out. Either way you look at it, he wasn't quick enough to be an F1, and unfortunately for him, he didn't have a great season compared obviously to Pierre Gasly, who's obviously an amazing talent, and I'm totally not being biased here. It's just going to be one of those things, like Kvyat might have, a second wind and just absolutely smash it, but at the same token, he hasn't really got a massive competition like Albon. Don't get me wrong, he's a good driver, but he's not that great. Yeah, he raced against George Russell, who's now a Mercedes protege, and Lando Norris, who's a McLaren protege, and because he raced with Leclerc in GP3 and then in F2, and couldn't hold a candle to him. The thing is with Red Bull is the only good driver they've got coming through the ranks is Pierre Gasly, hence why he's been moved up to Red Bull so quick. But the problem is with that, will we see another incident like Kvyat where he just couldn't hack it? But we'll have to see how that goes. But in terms of Kvyat, he was at Ferrari for a little bit, but that obviously didn't really materialise into anything. I hope he didn't think he was ever going to actually get a race seat with them, but you never know what could happen. But just ahead of us at the moment on track is Ricciardo, which is quite a fit in, all things considered. These two used to be teammates, and I reckon, Ricciardo's probably around about right. He's in P7, so the best of the rest, which is about probably spot on for him, I reckon, in the Renault, because I reckon the Sauber's going to be up there, but it's definitely going to be difficult for the Renault engine. You never know how good the Honda engine might be, so that could easily propel Red Bull and Toro Rosso higher up the order. Red Bull obviously not got much room to go, but easily put them maybe within the title hunt. It's possible, but you can see Ricardo's got a little bit of a helmet change. It's more or less a similar design, minus the Red Bulls, just with the blue being a bit of a yellow. I've no idea what I'm going to do with this helmet if I'm completely honest with you, but so in terms of the testing helmets, we've obviously got Kvyat's carbon fibre helmet with the silver decals of the Red Bull. We got Kimi's grayscale helmet for Sauber, Carlos Sainz Jr.'s grey and orange McLaren helmet. We've also got George Russell's and Alexander Albon's F2 season helmet in. There's a Lando Norris one in there as well. I'm going to assume that was just like a testing helmet or something like that. I'm not too sure, but that one's been banged on. And there's a custom Lewis Hamilton one that I've done. It's Lewis Hamilton helmets. Anyone who makes helmets will know how much of a pain in the arse Lewis Hamilton helmets are, just because of how fiddly they are and all the little inverts. Oh, it's an absolute nightmare. But the grid's slowly being formed up. I've got to import at least one, maybe two or three. One's from Race Department. I spoke to another user about some user interface stuff and some grid video stuff. I asked him if could I use some of your things, and we can share stuff between our mods. And he was like, yeah, that's perfectly fine. So that will save me a little bit of hassle in terms of doing some things. So that's one less thing I do have to worry about, which is handy, because the UI can be a humongous pain in the rear end, especially with the BGK videos. They are just awful things to do and things to work with transparency, but it's getting there slowly. I've had a few people come along and what's going on, when can I test it, all that stuff. It's not quite near there just yet, but considering we're still in December, we're not doing too well, but hopefully crank some more videos out. I think the next one will probably be Leclerc at Ferrari, and I love that livery. But you can see Seb wins here with Pierre Gasly in second place. But that's been it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.